Hey, what's going on, people? I'm Crazy Dee. This is my wife, Tracey Deeyon. And this one we like to call movies, music, culture, and whatever else comes to our minds. Where do we start today? Let's get on the road first. We just came back from doing a little shopping. Or doing a little returning. You know, my mom, as a pastime, would shop and find things. Then anything that didn't work, you know, she would return. It was a feel-good thing, be able to return. So, we returned some things that I didn't need to use for the live streaming that we're doing. You see, we're doing it wide angle and not vertical, and we got some different announcements coming up, but this piece is brought to you by Lordlandfilms.com. That's Lordlandfilms.com. Nothing But the Facts podcast. Shout out to my brothers. We do that podcast, you know, it usually shows every Sunday. If you didn't see the Michael Fasten birthday bash that we shot, we live streamed. You know, go watch it. It's right now. It's on YouTube. You type in Lordlandfilms.com, Michael Fasten's Happy Birthday Bash, and it'll come up. And also, you can see it on Crazy Deeyon. That's my page on Facebook. CRAYZONDEEYON. You can see it there also, and then you can see it on the different affiliate pages like It Is Radio and the Franklin G. Verley page. So, you know, so that's what this is. Who this is sponsored by, Lordlandfilms.com. Go check out the website. Okay, listen. Hip hop. Let's start with hip hop. You know, what is hip-hop? You know, they say it's graffiti, the spoken word, breaking, and it's one more. I forget what it's called, what it is. But anyway, hip-hop today. What is it? What is hip-hop today? Listen, I think people have forgotten the element of hip-hop which made it so great, which was competition. I've heard people criticize people for being the greatest and the best at it in this era in time, being the greatest and the best at it, and they criticize them for being the greatest and the best at it. But that's what hip-hop was. Machismo. I'm the greatest at it. I can pretty much destroy you verbally through my hip-hop prowess, or my ability to market and promote myself, was really what it was all about. And, you know, I've heard criticism that Jay-Z and Beyonce dropped the album the next day after Nas dropped his album, and his Nas's record isn't getting any breathing room. Well, guess what? That's what hip-hop is.
Well, Jay-Z and Beyonce's album is excellent. Excellent album. Hip hop,
R&B,
can
even
jazz feel, certain songs.
Even Beyonce is spitting. You know what I mean? Spitting. That's what hip hop is. Hip hop is, I am the greatest at it, and I want to show you that I'm the greatest at it. And anytime a person or people, melanated, are able to own their own company where they can put out records anytime that they want, you know, anytime they want, they can put it out through streaming and people see it, love it, buy it. I mean, that's just excellent. That's just excellent work on the part of people, because hip-hop is you're supposed to be an entrepreneur in hip-hop. You're supposed to make your way in hip-hop. And for people to complain about that and say somehow that was a hater move, that's what hip-hop is. It's not about hate. It's about delivering the product that people want and who is better at it at the time.
Well, people have been waiting for Beyonce Jay-Z albums.
Yeah, they were waiting on it. So, and then let's just say that it was just happenstance that they released the next day. Maybe they had it in the plans to release because they were touring already.
Right.
And people were like, well, where's the product? Y'all singing this, but where's the new stuff? And then it just dropped. But either way, they're showing why they have that hip-hop bona fides. Most definitely. That hip-hop bona fides, they have that most definitely. And so, people who are criticizing and talking, well, criticize and talk and all that.
There's enough room for everybody.
Yeah, it's enough room for everybody. Nas's album, you know, I walk in the morning and I've been listening to this different music, you know, because Kanye has been releasing album after album after album, 7 album gems, you know, starting with him and Kid Cudi, then it's the Pusha T album, then Nas, then Tiana Taylor's album. Now, you know, a lot of people were talking about Tiana Taylor's album, and you know, she had leaked some things on her Instagram page, but I wasn't privy to that. So when I listened to the album, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I like it. I think that that the last cut on there, the EDM cut, is gonna be it's a classic already.
Yeah, her album is nice.
Yeah, it's everything that Kanye put out was just dope. Everything.
And Drake's double album is nice.
Yeah, Drake's double album is nice. You know, he didn't address what people thought that he would address.
Well, in certain songs, he addressed various issues.
Yeah, he addressed issues, but he didn't.
He did it tastefully and tactfully.
Yeah, he didn't go at it though. You know, because you know he gave his word not to, and when you give your word not to do something, then you just have to go about it another way. The first album is just, you know, hardcore bangers, and the second album is for the ladies, you know, a lot of sing-songy stuff. And so you know, this whole month, this whole summer, starting with, you know, all the different releases, the Black Music Month and Juneteenth were just June was just a great month for 2018 as far as music. And then we have films coming out, you know, like we had Superfly come out. Now, if you didn't see Superfly, you need to see that movie.
Excellent.
You know, there always is a debate about, you know, how this is affecting the kids. I remember when parents were parents and they would tell their children, go upstairs, because this was the time when the people got together and they
listening to Red Fox albums
or Richard Pryor or
Eddie Murphy.
No, not Eddie Murphy. Yeah, that was a little later. We were a little older then. Yeah, they still had their kids to go up there. Dolemite, definitely the Dolemite 8 tracks. They were telling the kids, go upstairs and go to bed. That's what they were telling them. And then you would try to listen through to see what they were talking about. But most of the time you would go to bed and wake up in the morning and you were innocent to the thing. So this whole thing talking about the entertainment is destroying the children or potential to destroy the children. How about parents being parents and send your kids upstairs? Play something else. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, when he said about maybe 10, 15 years ago when his daughter was in high school, he said he would listen to rap music, but when she came from out of her private school that, you know, his rapping helped her go to, he would change the music to some jazz or something. And when she got back out the car, he would go back to his hip-hop. You know what I mean? He'd go back to his hip-hop. So if a hip-hop artist knows that, you know, there's a difference and he's living by the code to keep your kids innocent to certain things until they get to a certain age, then how come the rest of the parents can't? Stop blaming entertainment, because entertainment is always going to be entertainment. To me, I love blue comedy. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the Miss Diva digital is coming out in August. So look forward to that coming out at the same time that Black Book TV releases.
Right.
You know, and Lordlandfilms.com is a content provider, one of the content providers for Black Book TV, and also, you know, producing comedy films and all that, you know, stand-up films. So stay tuned for that. But one of my favorite comics, and I love all his films, even the Disco Godfather, was Rudy Ray Moore, Dolemite. Loved it. Dolemite, the first film, and then the Human Tornado, second film. All of his films were good. And then the documentary that Xenon had put together to put out to represent him. We had all that in my store at the time on VHS. And then later when DVDs came out, I had it on DVD for people to get. But Dolemite, if you have never seen Dolemite, the film, you need to see it because it is truly a classic. And you know how classic it is? For all those people who are sticking the muds, do you know how classic Dolemite really is? Do you know that Eddie Murphy just signed on to Netflix to do a biopic on Dolemite, on Rudy Ray Moore, excuse me. He's doing a biopic on Rudy Ray Moore. And guess who's playing Rudy Ray Moore? Eddie Murphy. That's right. Eddie Murphy is playing Rudy Ray Moore. And you know, it's funny. Eddie Murphy is headed towards his 60s. And he's playing a man that was in his 40s. Fully accomplished, his routines are all the way down. He was in his 40s, late 40s, 47 exactly when Dolemite, the first Dolemite movie came out. So he was already seasoned in the game. So you can see how good health and exercise makes a person that's nearly 60 be able to play somebody that was in their late 40s, 47 to be exact. So, and Dolemite had been on the circuit, you know, doing stand-up, dancing, all of that before he got his break. And like when you look at those people who were on the Chitlin circuit back in the day, they were on their stick as far as they were concerned. And they stayed young because they were out there on the road and they were doing their things and they didn't let the road beat them. And by the time they got there, they got seasoned and they crossed into many different generations from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s into the 80s, and then later in the 90s, you know, as Dolemite got older. But, you know, so when I look at that, Eddie Murphy is an icon. And everyone knew that Rudy Ray Moore was the whip. He recorded comedy albums and took them around the country, selling them wherever he would do stand-up. This is vinyl now, and he was selling these party records, right? Then he went around barn burning, as they call it, taking his film around to different cinemas, getting it shown, having people wrapping around the theater just to see Dolemite, the Human Tornado. You know what I mean? He had people wrapping around the movie theater to see it. So what happens is people don't really know the history of people, and they don't do the research, and they don't know, so they don't even know what it takes to actually get something done.
You were fortunate enough to meet Dolemite.
Yeah, actually, that's right. I was selling tickets for a concert that he was having in Cleveland at the time, and he actually came in and he told me that I had a nice store, and we talked about things that my mom would talk about. You know, she would tell me things, so I was able to hold conversation with him about places and people that were back in the day in Cleveland, because he cut his bones in Cleveland. He was from Akron, kind of like LeBron James, huh? How about that? And but yeah, you know, being able to talk to the man, and this was before I started telling my story, so my camera game wasn't up. But if my camera game was up, I would have had that first. I would have had one of the first original interviews that we had done with a comic with Rudy Ray Moore. But you know, I just ask some questions and soaked up the game. That's what it is. The game. Most people don't have game today. You have to be seasoned in what you do, and you never give up, because your break might not come until you're in your 40s, late 40s, 50s. Some people get it early, some people get it later, but by the time you get there, you got your stick, you got the stick, you got the routine, you got it down to a science, and that's what it's really about. You know, so they're doing that. So all the people that stick in the muds, you can't, you know, well, you can do anything that you want, but quit blaming entertainment, music, and all that. Quit blaming it. But you know what's funny to me? Go ahead. What was you about to say?
I was going to say, speaking of LeBron, what do you think about him going to the Lakers?
I love it. You know, I'm a LeBron. I'm not a fan, but I'm a LeBron supporter. You understand that? All the time when his people used to come and shop at my store, and when the Browns players used to come and shop at my store, you know what I'm saying? I'm a supporter of the individuals, not so much the teams, because I understand what's going on with the ownership, because they are owners, and it is like a type of slavery. And this man right here is breaking the slavery by signing contracts for so long, and then being able to make his own decisions and make the right decisions for his life as well as his family. So when he left the first time, I was like, go get that. He showed him that he could win, and this is what you need to do. My thing is, you have to look at the ownership. You have to look at the owner. You have to look at it. It wouldn't be anything. If I had a marquee player like that, right, it wouldn't matter about luxury tax, none of that. The salary cap, I would pay the fine and make sure that the dude had the people around him. It's a strange thing in Cleveland, Ohio. It's the mentality of the whites in Cleveland. It's just the way it is. They have we're going to work this Negro like a workhorse. The man is talented. He don't have to be worked like a workhorse. Well,
LeBron kept his word. He brought Cleveland a championship.
He brought him a championship.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely, I am too. You know, 3 rings. I mean, he could have had 3 rings there. If you know, that's another thing. People, the fandom in Cleveland, Ohio, is very funny. I think we have to research. I come from me from a Clevelander, and I have a thing of I support the individual and not necessarily the team. We have to look at the sports announcers that announce in the city and how they always talk junk about the different players and why they're not doing this and why they're not doing that, and why every year the Cleveland Browns, every single year we got to have that, we got to have the fumble, the drive. But anyway, we have to look at where the sports announcers are coming from. If they're not born, reared, raised in Cleveland, we shouldn't pick up their mentality of talking negatively against our sports people, such as LeBron James. People, it's weird. LeBron James, they said, well, he chased. Oh, there we go. We're back. Listen, my opinion, this is my opinion on Kyrie. You know, we already talked about the sports people and the fandom. Kyrie did get us a championship, didn't he? No, he didn't. It took LeBron James coming back and getting the championship. So, and then Kyrie got injured. He's injured now. You know, so, I mean, it's really weird that we would take the side of someone who hasn't won championships against a homegrown Northeast Ohio man who came here and kept his word about winning and bringing home a championship. So it's just weird to me that we would do that as fans and not wish him the best and let him go off to the Lakers and watch Magic build the new Showtime team around him and watch him win a championship. If you don't believe that LeBron James is going to win at least 3 more, at least 3 more. I'm saying 4, but at least 3 more. If you are sadly mistaken, and they're not coming in to pay him $153.3 million to just have them just be mediocre. You're out of here. They already got shooters. That's what he needs. He needs a young team around him that's not afraid to shoot the basketball. So that's what it is, truthfully, really. So this is it for this first test run of movies, music, culture, and anything else that comes to our mind at the time. I'm Crazy Dee. This is my wife Tracy. We'll be back next time. Anything you want to say?
No, it's a great show.
All right, so we'll talk to you. We're finishing up. Remember, Lordlandfilms.com, Lordlandfilms.com, and get ready for Nothing But the Facts, the next installment of Nothing But the Facts podcast coming up soon. We don't know where we're going to be because it's summertime, it's hot outside, and we're going around different places. So you'll never know where we'll be next. Live streaming right here on Facebook and YouTube and all the others. And get ready for, many films coming from Lordlandfilms.com this year. And if you haven't seen A Preacher's Life, the first 3 installments, go see those right there. And you can see us on Cox Cable through the app, through Contours. You go to apps and then you type in YouTube, and then you type in Lordland Films, and there's all the films, and you can watch them. Your hearts that get the popcorn together and get that influence, you know what I mean? Because we're influencing the next generations, not just the next generation, but the next generations with our films. So stay tuned for that. We will be back again with another installment of this. And, that's it. So, we're out. Bye.
Go Lakers.